Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wake Up Missoula. I am your host, Scott Ramp, ushering you into January 24th, 2025. So we're going to have one more of Friday show this month before we get into February. There's definitely a lot going on here at MCAT. We have all these events and other things going on. If you're wanting to learn any kind of editing for yourself or for future productions that you want to air on MCAT, you can contact us 542-6228, otherwise known as 542 MCAT. Our regular times are 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. every Wednesday for editing classes. We have a camera tour on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. We have podcast lessons Thursdays at 2 o'clock. We also have our Saturday drop-ins every Saturday from 1 to 3. Also, we have an overview of our studio space every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m., including our regular orientation that happens every Saturday at 10 a.m. So orientation does a little bit of tour and training about using the facilities, getting a glimpse of what you guys can do here, producing your own show, very much like my own. All right, so we're going to dive right into some city council stuff. There weren't much on the city council front because Martin Luther King Jr. Day was on Monday. So City Board of Adjustments did some rezoning, not much there to discuss, within the city council. They also talked a little bit more about chairing and vice chairing committees for president of city council, who runs meetings when the mayor is out for the night. But we're going to focus on community forum, this is part of the Missoula Office of Neighborhoods, where they're talking about the Missoula Fairgrounds, which opened up a presentation. Billy Brown, the events manager at the Missoula Fairgrounds, gave a presentation on how Missoula Fairgrounds have invested in future infrastructure. So without further ado, here is Billy.
You guys probably remember how the fairgrounds looked before, and I think it's good to put a pin in what that was, on how these buildings had no surface. It was dirt, dust, no foundations, peeling paint, and that is very common around fairgrounds today. I have traveled to a lot of the top stock shows, and fairs are just what I'm into. I was a livestock judge in college and an event planner thereafter. So to see what has happened in Missoula was just really remarkable. And I've had people come and they get emotional. They just wish that their towns would have done something like this to have saved it.
All right. And so that was the tone throughout this meeting about how Missoula was able to raise some money to invest in the Missoula Fairgrounds, which you see it today. New grandstands, new facilities, restoration of older facilities, not to mention the vendors row, where they would have the vendors representing schools, nonprofits, and other businesses in the community to help people bridge the gap of community and come together to be able to do these kinds of things. Billy also talks about being community focused when asked what the future, and just basically making an appointment to use the Missoula Fairgrounds.
We overhauled all the rentals at the fairgrounds to be, if it's a community connecting event, it's open to the public, and it uses a large portion of our campus and invites a lot of people. It books sooner and cheaper than a private event, say like a wedding or a banquet, which is closed to the public. And that is how we kind of came full circle to see that we now have about 7 or 8 events a year that are now 1,000 folks or more. We just added to our calendar a major music festival, which I'll go into more detail soon, and the fair itself. So, and on the back side of that, we are making money and we are solvent. We actually are putting money away. So we're pretty excited about that.
All right. So there's a lot of potential for the new site. the future of the site, they do want to create more animal space for animals to be presented, auction off, and stuff like that. She mentioned Hosier for a major summer event with tickets essentially being sold out of the general public for the 2-day festival. This is something the fairgrounds would not necessarily do except as a facilitator, and with some of the changes of their operations in the past, were able to improve and replace many of the underlying issues with the old fairgrounds. Billy also talks about the Jerry Marks building, which has seen an average about over 100,000 people a year just this past year. And here's a little bit more information about this building. And this is the building that holds the Missoula Butterfly House.
We have been approached by some conventions now who are looking for an unconventional space to have their conventions, where they can actually send the kids off one way, have their dinner maybe at the Jerry Marks, go out and have drinks in the gardens, and then do something else, or their breakout sessions in some of the fairgrounds buildings. And that's just an experience that you can offer that we can't offer, you know, maybe a hotel can't offer. We also offer other experiences, like most of our facilities don't have central air, and you have to order in additional porta potties. So hotels don't have anything to worry about with the fairgrounds. And of course, we're really excited about the fact that hockey exemplifies community connection. It's not something that we wrote, but it was something that we read once, where it was an individual recapped why he plays hockey. He's like, it's the only time that you see the lawyer pass the buck to the bus driver through the legs of the school teacher, you know, and that just defines community connection to us. And it is such a wonderful, welcoming community to newcomers, and that's what we like. Everything about the fairgrounds is welcoming of that amateur, of that just try it for the first time. That is what the county fair is about. We're not a gallery, we're not vetting a show. If you can paint that rock, just bring it, we're good with it. And it's gateway to being whatever you want to become.
All right. And so that basically kind of wraps up my city council report. You know, I think that's good to note to leave on. Otherwise, we'll be patting the fairgrounds on the back a little bit too much of the majority of the time. But however, going bigger in a lot of things is a goal from extending Western Montana State Fair up to 7 to 10 days out of the week, and their ultimate goal to create space for processing animals for auction and a hub for rural communities to come down with their livestock and host animal auctions and shows on a more regular basis, rather than it just being for summer fairgrounds through the FFA and 4-H and stuff like that. This could also emphasize a little bit more, because this is essentially was their second major phase. After their first phase, they raised money to help develop the current site that we live in today, which includes the Butterfly House and the community gardens that are just right next door to it. The city of Missoula doesn't post their usual Monday schedules until maybe sometime Friday afternoon or late Friday, and even sometimes down to the wire on Mondays before city council meetings, but that's usually just based on the website. So mostly when I look on the website, you can find out more information by going to ci.missoula.mt.us. It is a wonderful resource for people who are interested in finding out what's going on in Missoula, where they can find permits, how they can volunteer, how can they do all sorts of things here. Not to mention, I also wanted to give another shout out to the folks that are talking about the Montana legislature. So if you click on this link right here, it'll open another page, which brings you over to Missoula sessions. And the city of Missoula tracks proposed state legislation that may affect the city. You click on this, they bring out an Excel spreadsheet, including all the information regarding bills, HB5, long-range building appropriations. This is just, like basic zoning and all this type of stuff. And then we talk about some of the stuff that Missoula is interested in, like renewable resource grants. We're in support of like energy and climate, general government administration, historic preservation grants. A lot of these grants are very much like money that is set aside from the state legislature to help promote many of our nonprofits and organizations in town. And so moving this forward goes on to help a lot of these nonprofits, not to mention sometimes even help individuals when they want to install something like energy saving care that helps lower their carbon emissions. And it really just depends upon the values of Montana legislature and moving forward on passing these. So you can keep track of those. You can go to ci.missoula.mt.us, or you can go to mtleg.gov, mtleg.gov, to learn more about what's going on with your Montana state legislature. But without further ado, we're going to throw it over to some music from the YouTube channel that branched off of MCAT, which is called Songs from Valley and Mountains presents Gravy Ladies playing Skeleton Ridge.
3. Long time I've been up here on Skeleton Ridge. Came up here to look all around. Now I can't go back down, 'cause the wildfires done burned the bridge. Might be a long time before I'm found. I came up here to find something true to my soul. I searched and then I closed my eyes, and when I awoke to a flash, how the thunder did roll, and dark clouds had stolen the skies. By the time the clouds broke and the sun shined again, smell of smoke quickly replaced the air, and the ground became charred and burned where I had only just been, and the bridge was no longer there. Long time I've been up here on Skeleton Ridge. Came up here to look all around. Now I can't go back down, 'cause the wildfires done burned the bridge. Might be a long time before I'm found. Wonder if I'll survive up here on the ridge. Each night my bones become cold. Don't know how many more I'll live through before my cards I'll be forced to fold. Should I try and venture on down through the rocks to the trees where the wilderness grows? 100 miles through the woods, only game trails to walk. There is no mercy this mountain knows. Journey on down from the ridge through the wood is too far. I'm too tired and weak already, it's true. I'll just slowly pick at my last cliff bar and hope someday again I'll see you. Long time I've been up here on Skeleton Ridge. Came up here to look all around. Now I can't go back down, 'cause the wildfires done burned the bridge. Might be a long time before I'm found.
All right, that was the Gravy Ladies playing Skeleton Ridge. All right, let's jump on into some movies that are coming out this weekend. It's time for Pre-Critic, where I judge a movie based on nothing but my predisposition to, I love movies, but a lot of times movies are so predictable these days, it's not even funny. All right, kicking things off is Flight Risk. Nothing like taking flight lessons while you're being hunted down by a mob and assassin. You heard of Snakes on a Plane? Now get ready for Mark Wahlberg playing Baldface as he gets his George Costanza haircut and the menace along with it. I can feel the evil taking over as a balding man myself, but I prefer to get my frustration out of a plane ride that gets out of hand, and frankly, Mark plays up the chaotic evil he's been dying to play for quite some time. Enjoy yet another plane movie about a plane where you have to fight, you might crash, but if you don't, you die from the assassins. So enjoy the reason you don't want to get on a plane with a random guy who is supposed to give you flying lessons with someone you're trying to protect from a hitman. All right. This next one is called Inheritance. This movie is coded as a thriller about getting a movie from getting money from a dead relative, but with a dangerous catch. This one is about a dead international spy in a Kingsman type film with a girl who is just trying to understand her father's secret life, and I'm assuming the spy dad wants her to take the thing to the thing before the thing destroys the world or whatever. Spy movies always have heist elements, but with shootouts and car chases. Plenty of globe trekking to make you go, oh, I see, that place will lead to the next place, and then lead to the next place, and then we'll all just skip everything and go back to right where we started, because that's where the explosion's going to happen, and you have to prevent it from happening the whole time. So the main character and the spy she thought she could trust turns out to be a double agent. Basically ancestral guilt, but with spies. Then we got this next movie. From depressing the audience comes a Steven Soderbergh movie, Presence, which sounds like a ghost movie, but the director dives into drama realism. And this one is more or less about a presence in their house they just cannot shake. It's probably their trauma about moving into a strange house, and the people are just very bored and create the problem that emphasizes their own imagination. However, this one is probably going to play it safe and have ghosties, possessions, and the unexplained, like most of these highbrow horror films. Have you ever seen the movie Longlegs? I guess everyone's trying to do a Longlegs. All right, so those are the movies that are coming out this weekend. I have a brand new Dubbin Stuff from the 1957 movie The Brain from Planet Aros.
Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Oh, look, there's some more rocks. Are we there yet? No. You don't have to yell.
Yeah, I kind of do have to yell at you. All right, we're coming up to it. We're almost there.
Oh, we're there yet?
Yes, we are there yet. Just stop arguing.
I'm not arguing. I'm just curious.
I get it. Okay, fine. All right. Oof.
Did you have to run into it?
Yes. Yes, I did. All right, we came here for those rocks. Geology ain't no game.
When I become a geologist, can I get a hat like yours?
You can, when you grow up. All right, we're just here to survey some of the area, so we're not going to do anything too specific. Stay on your toes. No tomfoolery.
You have a very low opinion of me. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, wait.
I'm not detecting anything with this device. You do know you're supposed to turn it on.
All right.
Oh, geez.
Oh, my bad. Oh, wait a minute. Did you put a hole in the bottom of this?
Hold on. We got something. Ah, rocks. My grandfather was a professional rock hunter.
And what, do you find any?
And those are some rocks.
Yeah. Can I take a look real quick?
Yeah, there's a nice cluster of rocks over there. Take a look. And be careful. You don't want the hunter to become the hunted.
Oh, we're still talking about rock hunting, right?
You know, geology is an important skill.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. To gold, to oil, to all the things that God has provided for us from up above. Yep, I, for one, am proud to be a geologist. Come on, let's get going.
Sometimes I wish this was a paid internship. Hold on a second. Let me bring the gun. We gotta shoot these rocks.
All right, just be back in time. There's some rocks I want to put in the tumbler. You get me?
Yeah, you really like those smooth rocks.
Yep, some would say I even have rocks for brains.
I think most people think you have rocks for brains.
What's that?
Nothing.
All right, let's bring our brains back down to earth as we're talking a little bit about some news items that are happening in and around Missoula and beyond. Kicking things off is that Missoula has found a new partner with the development of Phase 2 of the Montana Railing Park area where the Johnson Street Shelter lives. GGL is making waves in Missoula as the city is tapping the design firm to come up with plans on the north parcel of the site where the Johnson Street Shelter lives. While the Johnson Street Shelter is only funded through August of 2026, mind you, so it has a whole another year plus the months and change, the future of the site remains up for discussion as the firm GGLO looks to create a space of a Phase 2 of two-phase development, which started with the Montana Railing Park. This is just one of those sites that were acquired when the former Montana Railing sold some of their assets to Burlington Road and Santa Fe, and some of those assets came to the city of Missoula. Among these sites, the city is working with the Missoula Economic Partnership on the Southgate Triangle behind Bob Ward's and Sons Sporting Goods and along the bike trail near Reserve. After negotiating the property's former owners, the Beach family and Southgate Mall Associates, the city purchased a property last year. Missoula Economic Partnership negotiated a $5.8 million purchase price, which offer officials said was well below the property's true market value. According to the Missoula Current, the Southgate Triangle parcel has sat vacant for decades and lacks any form of infrastructure. Above the property's prime location near Brook Street presents what officials have described a unique opportunity to catalyze housing, businesses, and public spaces through Midtown District. Missoula Midtown is the target of major economic development. We had our city council talking about the Missoula Fairgrounds and their report. And MRA is a big part of it, utilizing some of the Urban Renewal District tax revenue to pay for those parcels of land, maximizing use of the space while addressing the city's targeted needs for housing and open green space. This week, the Montana Dems presented a plan to use income tax to credit people for property tax relief. So this one is essentially to marry some of the income tax and the property tax for the tax relief to essentially utilize the state revenue, which is 70% income tax, while property taxes are 90% of taxes within your community. This also providing the taxpayer may claim either the housing fairness property tax credit or the residential property tax credit for the elderly and participate in the property tax assistance programs or the disabled veterans assistance program or receive the intelligible land value property exemption. This bill is a backstop that ensures payers don't receive the property tax burden that exceeds their ability to pay. It aims to help people on the proverbial fixed income. This might be on track to fail as a similar bill was presented in the 2023 season. This essentially would combine property and income taxes. So essentially a Democrat presented this to the state legislature, very Republican and conservative controlled. Very little movement was put on that in that time. So a family of household income, essentially if this were to pass, a family with a house income of $50,000 and a $3,000 property tax bill, for example, would be eligible for a $1,200 property tax credit. Gianforte's pitch is roughly cutting property taxes from 5.9% to 4.9%, a proposal that could reduce general fund revenues for communities like Missoula and other smaller communities by an estimated totally of all communities by $350 million a year. General funds for the city roughly goes to pay fire, police, and maintenance for city departments, and overall could affect your local communities. The argument is that a tax credit proposal would avoid situations where lower income residents end up with a unduly burdensome tax bill. 29 states currently have similar policies in place, and if they work with them, why not the rest? So this is from the Montana Free Press. It has been highlighting these bills roughly through the legislative session. While Trump is signing executive orders left and right, mostly right wing, we must not forget that Trump had nearly pardoned over 1,500 people who were charged in some way for the January 6th, including the extremely violent offenders who attacked police officers, with Biden using his pardon power to protect those who testified in the hearings of January 6th. Many of those executive orders affirmed two sexes, men and women, keep up. Only in the federal government, a lot of this has to do with protecting women's sports, as it has been a rallying call for many conservative movements. Many DEI programs within the federal government have been scaled back completely. The protections for refugees were repealed, making people coming across the border with little option to advocate for their stay in the U.S., aside from essentially butting heads with Elon on H-1B worker visas, remains untouched. However, this was birthright citizenship came into fire as a judge effectively blocked the executive order based on the grounds on the 14th Amendment, which allows for people to basically become naturally born citizens with protections for the U.S. if they are born into the United States. While everything is happening this week, many of the executive orders, many presidents flex their muscles within the beginning before they trail off in constraints on reactionary politics. It's very interesting to see. But essentially, there's no guarantee that Trump is going to keep this momentum up very much longer. That momentum is also spinning upwards of the $500 billion of who knows whose money it's going to be to AI. According to CNN, three top firms on Tuesday announced that they will be creating a new company called Stargate to grow artificial intelligent infrastructure in the United States, which includes a lot of data centers. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, SoftBank CEO Mayosha Son, and Oracle Chairman Larry Ellison appeared at the White House Tuesday afternoon alongside President Trump to announce the company, which Trump called the largest AI infrastructure project in history. Apparently, aside from the Trump plans to use the U.S. dollars, the three investors will put up $100 billion of their own money to create jobs in the tech sector, expand the data farms needed up with the demand for data. So Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, started out as a nonprofit. Then essentially sold the AI software ChatGPT. It became so popular he was able to utilize it with Google Chrome. I think Apple's trying to do their own thing. Yeah, Apple just started doing their own AI system as well as Microsoft when he made most of his billions of dollars and became definitely a big figure in the AI leaderships. And AI leaders have been for months sounding the alarm on more data centers as well as the chips and electricity and water resources to run them are needed to power their artificial intelligence ambitions in the coming years. And aside from this money, Trump also took out some of the guardrails and regulations around Biden policy on monitoring and regulations. Regulations are one of many things that big companies will have to look forward to as Trump moves to remove many restrictions and let big businesses and corporations basically do whatever they want and even foot the bill for this instance. It's very strange as Republicans are more or less hesitant to invest in anything outside the industrial military complex while cutting welfare programs, as history has shown. This also goes back to Trump's attempt to repeal the Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare, which actually might get a second round as repeals are going through the presidency. So there's definitely a lot going on. There's definitely so much to talk about, but I'm going to throw it on over to a fun video featuring some of the kids of our Winter Days camp. I didn't show any of these. I'm surprised I didn't even try to show any of these the last couple weeks that I've been on the air. So without further ado, here is a little taste of a short that we made on Wednesday, January 1st. It's just kind of fresh in my mind. So here is Strawberrians.
Off your phone! What's she doing?
Okay, basically, because there's been employee shortages, the law of minors working and child labor has been repealed. So you now all work for me.
So now, your job at the library is to put the books on the bookshelves and to tell people where to find those books on the bookshelves. Am I going too fast for you?
What's the OSHA violation against children lifting heavy objects?
Okay, Miss Carrie, you will be sorting books. You will be going over there in that general order. Okay, Ms. Natasha, over there at the desk, you will be the clerk. Miss Tasha, you will be over there sorting.
What am I doing?
Who are you?
My name is the Moldy Raisin.
Okay.
My parents went through like big battles, fought big giraffes and countries and all that stuff. And like they went inside toes. Yeah, they ate a lot of those toes. Yeah, and like we're basically refugees because our whole entire country died, you know. So don't disrespect me.
Okay, Miss the Moldy Raisin, you will work in quality check.
What's that?
You do this. You make sure things are safe by testing them. So, I get, is this safe to sit on? Yeah, it's safe to sit on.
What does sit mean?
This is what sit means. You put your bottom on something.
Oh my gosh. You know Talia? Yeah. She is so annoying. I don't think she's done anything. I know, she hasn't done anything. She's just there being weird. Like, oh my goodness. She, like...
Your monitor quality good? What? Your monitor quality good. Sure? Okay.
Whatever. But like, she just wanted to get the entire time.
What are you guys talking about?
Nothing.
Can I please have the scanner?
Sure.
Thank you.
Cool. What you doing?
What are you doing?
Watching you watch, whatever they're doing. Okay, so, I love your hair, BT does. It is, like, so, like, trendy. Like, that's the trend right now. So good. Anyway, so I do have some personnel concerns. So, like, that one girl who's, like, restocking the shelves.
You're trying to be nice to me, so you get a raise.
No, I'm just telling you my concerns. Like,
Confession booth.
oh, fine. Okay, so there's this, like, bookshelf person. I don't know what her job is. Her name is, like, Kari or something like that. Like, something stupid like that.
Do you hear Natasha? Yeah, what in the world is she doing?
I think she's doing a confessional. They do that in the library? I don't know. Anyway, oh my gosh, she's the worst. She, like, is such a mini Karen. Like, she's defo gonna want to speak to the manager. Like, oh my god. Oh my god, what is that?
This is the quality check.
Rude!
We heard you talking a little bit smack.
I was not. I would never. You guys are like my pookies.
Excuse me? I literally heard you talking about her.
Oh, that? Oh my gosh. That was my identical twin sister. Her name is Natala.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Because I have ears, but I do not have eyebrows.
Okay.
So, like,
That was not me. I would never talk trash about you guys.
Hi. Oh.
I would seriously never, ever, ever, not once in my entire life, I would never talk about you behind your backs. Like, you guys are like,
Aha! I smell a union. Separate. Get back to work.
Yes, Mom.
hi.
Hi.
What's my job again? I so would. Oh my gosh, they're the worst. We literally took like 2 steps. Are you kidding? We are pookies, okay? We are pookies, and I would never talk about you guys behind your backs, okay? It just hurts me that you think I would do that. Scandal.
Robots! Fighting the evil Skellymen!
You never steal our Bubble Hill, Skellyman. I will take over the Bubble Hills. Go, robots!
MCAT Animation Drop-In Workshops every Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. located in the Missoula Public Library, 455 East Main Street.
I'll get you next time, robots. Next time! Go, robots!
Hey guys, we're back. Let's talk about some events that are happening in and around the city of Missoula. Kicking things off, as always, we have your regular events here at the Missoula Public Library, where we do Tiny Tales every Friday at 10:30 a.m., along with other events that are happening in town. Butterfly House has early hours starting at 9 a.m. this morning for adults who want adult quiet hour before they open up for general kids starting at 10 a.m. Stained glass at Snowflakes Lifelong Learning Center. Learn about the art of stained glass and user creations, unique soft snowflake designs under the guidance of experienced instruction. Lifelong Learning Center is a great way for people who only need to sign up for a class at a time, and it is a great representation of just keeping your brain strong, even in a non-traditional education kind of environment. Family fun time at Missoula Gymnastics, indoor fun for keeping kids active at 10 a.m. They also have one at the YMCA. It's always a great indoor facility for families, along with preschool playtime, which is at Roots Acro Sports Center. Empowered Place has their open play hours at the Missoula Food Bank. It is a lot of different places, including a science center slash event center slash library, all sorts of fun things along while your family is picking up some cheap, nutritious produce from the Missoula Food Bank. Also, lunch at Missoula Senior Center. It's every day, Monday through Friday at 11:30 a.m. It's a great way for people 55 and older to get nutritious, cheap meals and also socialize with other people their age. And also, the Poverello Center has their own lunch, breakfast, and dinner time. Their lunch is usually around the same time, 11:30 a.m., which happens every single day, including Saturday and Sunday. Yarns and Watercolor at noon. Every Friday at noon on the 4th floor of the Missoula Public Library, you get to stitch and crochet, or you can do some basic watercoloring. All Abilities Art Club at BASE. BASE is for folks who, Americans with disabilities, to have the ability to come together and learn about some of the resources that are provided to them, along with this All Abilities Art Club. So it's you kill two birds with one stone kind of thing. Introduction to Pickleball, Lifelong Learning Center does this. This is like their staple event at the Lifelong Learning Center. They usually do this pretty much like once every 2 weeks. They always have some kind of class going on. Random Walks with Wild Montana, Marshall Mountains. They're doing some snowshoeing starting at 2 p.m. this afternoon in Marshall Mountain ski area. You can join Mike Young for a snowshoe at the Marshall Mountains. This is between 3 to 4 miles with a 500 to 800 feet above elevation gain, depending on the bit of the group. Bring water, snacks, even extra layer. And so they'll do some ski biking, all sorts of fun trails like that. Expect to be back by the trailhead by 4:30 or so. And so they're meeting at the Comfort Inn at the university at 1021 East Broadway side of a lot closer to downtown than you would think. Lego Club every Friday at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon here at the public library, along with happy hour at the carousel. So this is from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. Buy one, get one free ride at the carousel. Everything goes to support for Carousel for Missoula and their ongoing operations to basically have a year-long carousel for people who are visiting and for people in town as well. Young Adults Writers Group, this is also a fun way for writers who are interested in getting to, interested or already interested in writing to take some criticism and also learn some better values about writing through the Missoula Public Library every Friday at 3:30 p.m. They're doing an exhibit at Radius Gallery. This is an art opening for a new show, A Perfect Commotion, and this is new works by Chris Maynard, Shannon Toxler, and Kathy Weber. A strong avian motif wins through these accomplished artists' respective projects, and the exhibition brings together selections of each that are animated, expressive, delightful, offbeat, and beautiful as a songbird. We also have some karaoke tonight at the Jack Saloon at 6 p.m. If you're going out and about, Embodied Astrology, a cosmic dance. They're doing at Ritual, which is at 133 North Higgins. It's a class at 6:30 p.m. tonight that embodies exploration of the current astrological energy through conversion, journaling, music, and movement in the form of gentle yoga, conscious dance, and breathwork. Wolf and the Moons is going to be playing some music at the Old Post at 7 p.m. tonight. Folk, Needle and Thread is going to be playing at Imagination Brewing Company. They'll be playing folk music. Cacao Ceremony at Sacred Alley. They usually do that in phases with the moon. They have people drink and sip some sipping chocolate at Sacred Alley tonight at 7 p.m. Waitress is doing their last weekend at MCT. Waitress is a musical being presented at the Missoula Community Theater. A lot of local actors here in town are going to be performing this Waitress, and so essentially she's like a single mom who works too hard, and you know, she's a survivor, all that kind of thing, and it's a small town, and so she finds a love interest, but she's worried about the people who are spreading rumors about her behind her back and everything. So it's definitely a nice little slice of life, kind of truck stop waitress kind of thing, based on the book, The Waitress, and the movie that starred Nathan Fillion, and I'm blanking on her name because I'm just doing a string of consciousness going on right now. So moving on, we got Travis Yost at the Cranky Sam Public House at 7:30 p.m. tonight. Bear Bait Dance presents Kinetoscope, which is going to be at Western Theater all weekend long, and tonight's kicking it off at 7:30 p.m. Night 1 of 2. This is going to be at Monks. This is going to be Backwood Beats and Earl Shiz. is going to be at Monk's playing some DJ music tonight and tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. The Dial-Up Kids at the VFW is playing some rock music at the Old Beck. The Jones End Band is going to be at Union Club tonight, playing some music there as well, some jam band music. Humble Love / free country music is going to be on the Sunrise Saloon at 9:30 p.m. to wrap up your Friday night. And as we dive into more of traditional Saturday type stuff, we have the Missoula Valley Winter Market at the Southgate Mall from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Right next to Shields. Wildlife tracking class, McClaney Butte. This is going to be at Macaulay Butte, it's the Butte. It's the rock formation. So want to be able to read stories on the landscape? Join Montana Folk School to learn the basics of tracking wildlife and identifying signs with expert tracker John Johnston. This course will cover foot morphology, gait, sign, and behavioral interpretation. This is happening at Macaulay Butte. Class runs from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Directions will be sent along with communication after registration. You can register at MissoulaEvents.net on this class for your Saturday at 9 a.m. School closing garage sale. Learning with Meaning is selling some of their assets. They're at the old library just across the street from us, and this will be starting on Saturday at 9 a.m. So art supplies, office supplies, computers, film production equipment, smart boards, education supplies, and more. Fire cider workshop, craft your own herbal remedy. GW Marks Exploration Center. This Montana Herbal Festival invites you to join Catherine and Sydney of Wild Wanderers as they journey through the sweet and spicy world of free cider. And so this is going to be free cider workshop, craft your own herbal remedies at the GW Mark Exploration Center. Makerspace open hours. Here at the public library, 3D printers, laser scanners, all sorts of fun things like that to get involved with. They're doing their open hours roughly from 10 a.m. to, I think they usually do until about 1 or 2 p.m. And you can double check through the website at MissoulaPublicLibrary.org. Sherlock Holmes and a Musical Mystery. Missoula Public Library, the Missoula Symphony, and the Public Library invite families to do a hands-on interactive musical adventure with symphony musicians as their guides. Families will grab an interactive map to solve musical mysteries while learning more about music, musical instruments, and all the Missoula Public Library offers. Join Sherlock Holmes and the music director Julia Tai as they find clues and crack the case here at the Public Library starting at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Line dancing at Missoula Senior Center at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Story time every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. on the second floor of the Missoula Public Library. Winter storytelling, Travelers Rest State Park. Join Mandela Von Eden, talking about Africa, adventure, conservation, and coexistence. They're doing with Explorer Maps, the host of the Trail Less Traveled for a high adventure across Africa. Mandela will focus on her recent project in Zambia with Game Rangers International. After living in Zambia's special anti-poaching unit and running the Zambezi River, attendees can expect to learn about the history, geology, ecology, and stories from the front lines of conservation in southern Africa. Multi-age workshop, The Surface Decoration, at Missoula Art Museum, a hands-on workshop led by Courtney Murphy. It's a free all-age workshop, and space is limited to about 15 people. Whether you're a beginner or an expert artist, you'll enjoy creating your own unique pieces in a fun, supportive environment. Abstract Mono printmaking workshop at the Workroom Montana, which is 3205 South Russell Street. They're doing a class at 1 p.m. on Saturday, along with MCAT Saturday drop-ins every Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. Great way for kids to learn some stop animation and learn basic animation editing along the way. Tips, tricks, and techniques for sketching your nature journal, Montana Natural History Center, starting at 1 p.m. as well. Jason Seapool will help you hone your nature journaling skills during the class. Incredible reference specimens from the collection, including mammals, birds, and insects, bone, horn, shells, and rocks will be used for guiding practice exercises. Meet a music therapist and Missoula Public Library at 1 p.m. on your Saturday afternoon. A music therapist, this is for kids aged 3 to 5 p.m. And it's a great way to learn how music can calm and excite children of all ages, but this one is geared towards 3 to 5 years of age. Bear Bait Dance presents Kaleidoscope. They're going to continue this throughout this weekend. I talked a little bit more about this as well. D&D, Dungeons & Dragons Guild for Teens at Missoula Public Library every Saturday at 3 p.m. Cat Grizz Winter Prep Rally, the bonfire and fireworks from 4 to 5:30 p.m. The University of Montana University Center is evening ranging from free games in the game den to face painting and sign making with the Grizz athletes. Food options include Gary's Local Burger, and beer gardens will also be available for purchase. Popcorn, hot cocoa, and other snacks will be available for free. Conservation celebration, 6:30 p.m. at the Trailhead River Sports. You're invited to the Montana chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers for the Trailhead River Sports in Missoula on Saturday, January 25th at 6:30 p.m. For a night of music, food, raffles, auctions, and all sorts of hors d'oeuvres. Will raise a glass to the success of 2024 as they look ahead to 2025. So the conservation celebration of the Trailhead River Sports. Tickets available online or at the door. Western Union, Swing at Imagination Brewing Company is doing Western Union. Spruce Alley Sally and at the Jack Saloon playing some bluegrass music tonight at 7 p.m. Then we have more of the DJs the second night of the Beach with Earl Schiss weekend, starting at 8:30 p.m. I'm totally mispronouncing those names, but I don't want to try to pronounce them to a certain degree. Solid Sound Karaoke at the Westside Lanes and Fun Center, 9 p.m. on Saturday. Hunter Styles Country Music Sensation at the Sunrise Saloon at 9 p.m. on Saturday. Flash Panda is going to be at the VFW playing some rock music at 9 p.m. on Saturday. Much Like Charlie is going to be at Union Club. Chris Moon is going to wrap up your Saturday at the Badlander at 10 p.m. And with Sunday, we got Garden City Salsa at the Rocky Mountain Ballet Theater at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Get Lit, which is part of the Pain Savvy Health Literacy class at the Missoula Public Library. It's a health literacy class to help the strategy about preventing and overcoming persistent pains. This happens every Sunday at 1 p.m. Five Valley Accordion Club. This is at Senior Center every Sunday at 1 p.m. Community dance. Actually, it's not every Sunday, but this Sunday is happening. I have noticed that it's been pretty frequently at the Missoula Senior Center. But community dance and improvisation with Hannah Laga Abram. Free Cycles. They're doing improv dance, just going down. It's kind of like an open mic, but with dancing only. Sound Healing at 4 p.m. Ritual on Sunday. Draftworks Winter Jazz Series continues at 6 p.m. at Draftworks. Return to the Mothership, a night of music, movement, and connection. Sacred Alley Folk Dancing at 6 p.m. and comedy at the VFW at 8 p.m. on Sunday, and then karaoke at the Sunrise Saloon on Sunday, every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Therefore, wraps up everything I need to say for my morning show. There's not much going on here. I do also want to give a shout out to my coworker Neil, who we're doing a show called MCAT Mondays, which airs on KFGM 101.5, and then later on our channel, which if you've gotten a chance to check it out, we've aired it on Monday nights and Tuesday nights for our MCAT Mondays. And yep, you guys can enjoy that and more. But that's going to happen live on the radio 101.5 every Monday from noon to 1 p.m. for the foreseeable future. So it's exciting. We'll have it available. We'll be playing some fun music. We're also having some deeper discussions about things beyond just the way I do my morning show here. So it's a little bit different, but it's more about just kind of just going for it, just being free, rather than just having a certain schedule and having certain segments the way they've been for the last couple of years now. So without further ado, I want to thank you guys for joining me. And here is a fun little video I'm going to show you guys to kind of pad some of my show. So thanks for joining. And for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramph.